So today I am playing BeamNG Career Mode. I ended up losing my last save when the last update happened. I deleted both of my vehicles, so now I'm left with nothing essentially. So I'm gonna restart it today, but I'm gonna make it very hard on myself. First off, no mod vehicles and no special missions because you can make way too much money from them. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the Cova and I'm putting it up for sale because it's worth around $7,000 and I'm going to buy something much cheaper. I was going to buy that box truck, but because it was a mod, I decided not to pick it up. And I needed commercial insurance for it. So I bought the van instead. While the Covette was up for sale, I decided to get this thing squared away for taking care of packaging and moving and deliveries and stuff. There was a couple vehicles on the market that weren't too bad, but a lot of them were mods or things I didn't need. And I did sell the Covette. I sold it for a price that I was happy with. And here I'm just installing the cargo boxes. And then I ended up not being happy with the amount of storage space, so I actually went back in and installed all of the boxes this time. So now it's time to put this thing to work. Now, I'm not going to blow through this intersection because they have cameras, and if I get caught, it can be upwards of a $500 fine, I believe. So most of the major intersections where I actually do stop is because of those cameras. Now, this is a good place to start out for cargo because you have three places which are all right next to each other, and oftentimes they all have cargo they need to bring to the same place. So in this case, I'm going to be bringing cargo to the marine logistics. And it makes it a lot easier to go to the same place, but multiple things being delivered there. It can not only be a good way to make more money, but also a good way to build a reputation for multiple places. I was racing this car. How'd you getting beat in a van? Now this corner is very dangerous, and that's why I slow down so much, because it's very easy to go even 10 over and understeer into the rail, especially in a front-wheel drive like this. So I didn't make a spectacular amount of money from that, but it's really the experience in which I need, because then I can go on to really do bigger and better things, like trailer deliveries. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing a round trip. I want to be able to get cargo there and back, so that way I'm not wasting any time, because time is money. playing with the switches here, trying to get the strobes to work, but I couldn't get them to turn on no matter what I tried. Let me tell you a little bit more about this van. It was a front-wheel drive with 177,000 miles on it. I bought it for like $4,000. And it's not entirely a bad vehicle, but it's definitely underpowered, and the brakes, as you will see, are very questionable because later in the game they squeak so much it actually made my head hurt. And I'm not sure if that's just because I'm dehydrated and it's like 100 out today, but they were awful. I'm not sure if it has the 4-cylinder or the V6 in it. It might be the V6 based on fuel consumption because it is really bad on fuel. But... and no, I'm not getting rid of the strobe. J-turn. So now I'm doing another round back to Spearleaf to see if any of these guys need something they brought there, and none of them did. I will check out a couple more places, though. One of the problems I have is not necessarily the fact that I don't have enough cargo space, because I totally do. The problem is that I'm not level 2. Once you get to level 2, you can take on larger jobs. And then once you hit level 3, I believe, you can start doing aggregate. And there was an accident here. It looked like a hit and run with a BX and someone else. Wasn't sure what was going on there. But this place didn't have anything. I almost clipped that covert. Still can't get it to work. I'm not sure why. And then I opened the door. Now, in through here is a speed camera, so I'm making sure not to go super fast because it can set you back a lot if you get caught. Now, as you can see, a lot of this stuff is red, not because I can't handle it, but because I simply am not level 2. And you can see the thing going to the Green Pier restaurant was cut off, so I had to go in that special menu, which was weird. I'd never seen that before. J-turn. Now, for some reason, the map made me come all the way out here just so I could bang a Yui in the road and go back in. I'm not sure if that was me or if that was someone else. I think its thought was it's a one-way, so I had to just leave again. So I just left out but in. Another accident. Yeah, not really sure what the idea is behind this AI mapping. It's not the smartest. Neither is the AI traffic. You can see in the bottom left corner the mapping of vehicle damage keeps showing up, and that is because my brakes are fading. I'm not sure if it's just because the thing is getting hot, or if it's because the brakes are old and worn out. But whatever it was absolutely making me go insane. I really don't like driving in the city, especially in this map, because it's stop and go traffic, and it can get really boring. And stuff like that can happen. Now, I ended up being fine, but the other car wasn't. But I don't really think the game cares about other cars. There we go, that is all the deliveries from there done. I was looking at some other places, but there wasn't really any more deliveries I wanted to do. Figured I'd just back all the way up into this place, see if maybe they got any work for me. Figured I'd go back to the good old-fashioned tire place, and I'm actually ignoring the directions on this place because they want me to go through the city, and I really don't like to do that. It's much faster to just take the outskirts of the city. Can't hear the brakes now, they are really bad. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking, okay, maybe after this job, I should head back and try and swap out the brakes, because maybe it's just because they have so many miles on them. Now, unfortunately here, I was kind of rushing, and I did get into an accident with a Pessima, which my van was fine, but he decided to keep accelerating, and it put a dent in my door, which would have been really bad as it was. But it meant that I couldn't do my brakes now without repairing the vehicle. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to do the standard repair, and even though it took 10 minutes, I had it. And you can see here a lot of K trucks and a lot of box trucks, but all of them are sold for some reason. I was kind of looking to see where I wanted to go after that, and I didn't really know. But other than that, that's pretty much it for today's video. I didn't even fix the brakes, but it doesn't even matter.